Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Ruach HaKodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to the house of David, which is the elect. And I just came across this article coming from RT, which, speaking of RT, Meta, which is the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, just officially banned RT, outlets and articles and stuff like that from its, platform. All right, and I believe it was already banned on YouTube as well. So there's clearly, a push to censor certain, information to, being disseminated out to the public here in America, which ultimately is because there's a narrative that they want to push, right, and they don't want any other type of information that they can't control or manipulate to be given to the to the masses of people, right? That's how they keep people asleep. That's how they keep them docile and misinformed, all right? All while saying that they're fighting misinformation and disinformation, all right? And that's just an example of how this truth is being attacked, right? Because brothers use these type of articles, right, and these type of news sites, for our information. We rarely get our information from the MSM. Excuse me. But nonetheless, reading this here, coming from, like I said, Russia Today, it says U.S. Congress to hold huge UFO hearing. A massive flying disc was recently spotted above a missile base in Montana. And there is little, zero coincidence. I should say that. I was going to say little to none, but there's zero coincidence that these so-called UFOs, right, which us of faith know exactly what these vehicles are, right? These flying objects are. There's little coincidence or zero coincidence that they are continuously, being spotted, not only in America, right? Majority of so-called UFO sightings are in America, but a lot of them are around, missile bases, army bases, navy bases, et cetera, because these so-called UFOs, which are being operated by the host of heavens, right, and the word host going into armies, they are spying, so to speak, doing reconnaissance on their adversaries, right, on the people, right, or the military that they're about to go to war against. And Esau Edom is trying to do the same thing, but he can't. That's why he set up a space force. That's why he set up satellites. That's why he's always trying to look into deep and look into outer space, because he is trying to see if he can spot the armies of heaven. All right, but you're not going to be able to do that. And if they do allow you to see them, it don't even matter, because you're not going to be able to prepare for what they're coming with. Okay, as you had certain members, whistleblowers from certain governmental sects say that the technology that they've witnessed from these UFOs, so-called UFOs, is 1,000 years ahead of the technology that America has. All right. So even if you were able to see this, you don't have enough time, okay? Because if this is 1,000 years ahead, you don't have enough time to be able to create defense, weaponry, defense technology for that, and offensive technology for that. And him saying 1,000 years is basically just saying that it's so far beyond what they have. Okay, so let's read this. It says the Senate Armed Services Committee is preparing to stage a new hearing to boost the credibility of the Pentagon's division charged with dealing with unidentified flying objects, a senior lawmaker said. The All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, or AARO, was founded in July 2022 with the help of a Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, a New York Democrat. She told the Daily Mail on Monday that she's working to schedule a hearing within weeks. Excuse me. It's a priority for me because I think it's very important we continue to make things publicly available. And they're not even making everything publicly available. All right. Remember, this devil, he does things in secret. Okay. He gives you half truths, right? He gives you a certain perception that he wants to portray, right, to the masses of people. But, through the spirit, right, and through prophecy in the word of the Lord, we know that, hey, these sightings of these chariots of Israel, that's what they are. These things are being purposely done by Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, because it is an indication that our salvation is near. All right, that is why, Yahweh Shai even said, when you shall see all these things come to pass, look up. Now, he was speaking metaphorically, right? Look up and lift up your heads, for your salvation draweth nigh, meaning don't be downtrodden, don't be saddened, right? But also, we should be looking up. And brothers, ancestors see chariots all the time, and it's interesting because a couple of weeks ago, I remember saying this. Now, I don't remember if it was just like a thought I had or if it was a dream, but I remember telling my Evedas that I seen a chariot that was, really low, right? It was very low to the point where it was like you can see the details of it. Like I said, I don't remember if it was a thought or if it was a dream, but nonetheless, these chariots are showing themselves more and more and more, and people are getting clearer and clearer images of it. Okay, and they're doing that, letting that happen purposely, because the chariots can reappear, disappear. They can move at speeds that are clockable, right? Breaking sound barriers, the speed of light, all these things. So if anybody is able to catch a recording of them, it's because they're letting that happen. All right, and we're going to continue to see. It says the Armed Service Committee intends to host a progress report on how many unidentified aerial phenomena, UAPs, so they try to switch up the names, we've assessed and analyzed, give examples of what we have identified and give examples of what we haven't identified, she told the outlet. According to Gillibrand, the hearing should renew public trust in the AARO, and we're at a time where the public does not trust the government at all, right? It doesn't trust it with the economy, doesn't trust it with the military, doesn't trust it with things of this nature, all right, which ties into prophecy as well. All right, Second Esdras, the 15th chapter, right? Because they should not regard their kings nor princes. So it says, after a series of military whistleblowers claims about the government covering up a possible alien encounters, we also want to try to continue to build credibility within this office so more of the public can feed in sightings and have a place in a platform to send information and inquiries, she added, because that's eventually what this office is supposed to do. The hearing announcement comes just 2 weeks after a video of a huge UFO with tons of blinking and spinning lights was posted on Reddit. The sighting was recorded in Chautio, or Slovakia. I know I'm pronouncing it wrong, but Chautio, Montana, less than 100 kilometers from the Malmstrom Air Force Base, a major nuclear missile facility. Coincidence? I think not. These photos aren't scary, but seeing what you truly believe is a massive object in the silent night sky going over your head and home carries a lot more emotional weight in person, said the anonymous witness. When some users suggested the phenomenon may have been a constellation of Elon Musk's Starlink communication satellites, the witness disagreed. I'm familiar with Starlink videos, he wrote. While we were watching the object, it was very apparent that the lights were around the silhouette of a large craft. You could not see between the lights. It was solid dark behind them. Our take is that we were seeing a disc shape from the side. It's funny because in Bible study this past Sunday, yesterday, we went over Ezekiel, the first chapter, right? Which Ezekiel, the first chapter, talks about the wheel within the wheel, right? Which is the disc shape of the vehicles, as you see here, right? You have, let's see if I could type. It's not going to let me. But if you see this picture right here, you have the disc shape, and then underneath it, you see, a shape similar to the disc shape, right? So it looks like a wheel because a wheel is a circular, shape. And then you have underneath it a circular shape as well. So that's where you get the disc shape drawings and imagery that you see, depicting UFOs. They get it from the scriptures, right? And they get it from the scriptures because, as Yahweh said, his words are faithful and true. Okay. These things that were written, these were things that were witnessed by men of old. In the way that they described them, they didn't say it was a UFO. They said what they described, they described what they saw, which was something in the air that looked like a wheel within a wheel. Okay. Reading back, it says, it says, our take is that we were seeing a disc shape from the side. The encounter happened around 10 p.m. local time on August 31st. The man said, adding that his wife was shaking and crying from the experience afterwards. All right, hey, because that imagery, basically was something that was fearful to her because, as it says, let me pull that up here in the book of was that Sirach, Second Maccabees, right? Second Maccabees, chapter 5. Let's start at the top. It says, about the same time, Antiochus prepared his second voyage into Egypt. Then it happened that throughout all the city, for the space almost of 40 days, there were seen horsemen riding in the air and clothed of gold and armed with laces like a band of soldiers, right? So this was, something that was visually seen, right? Horsemen in the air dressed in clothes of gold and armed with laces like a band of soldiers. Imagine that, just seeing horsemen, men upon horses in gold, just running back and forth in the air, doing war games. It says a troop of horsemen in array, encountering and running against one another, right? Military war games. That's what the host of heaven were doing. The army of heaven were doing, with shaking of shields and multitude of spikes and drawing of swords and casting of darts and glittering gold ornaments and harness of all sorts. Wherefore every man prayed that apparition might turn good. You see? So that's why she was shaking and scared, because she saw this, apparition. She saw this anomaly in the air, and she didn't know what to take of it. Okay, because it was something that was uncommon, right? That's why the scriptures even talks about the way that we're going to be delivered is going to be a strangeness of our salvation, so far beyond all that they have looked for. Okay. All right. See, people seeing these chariots, what they call UFOs, they're not looking at these UFOs as a means of the salvation from the coming World War III, right? The impending destruction that is going to happen by fire, right? They're hearing, oh, these might be aliens. Now you have some people make jokes with like, oh, yeah, I'm ready for the aliens to come and take us out, right? Bring us, take us somewhere else. But that's just them being simple-minded and stupid, folly. But for us, we understand and know very, very well what these sightings represent. Okay, what these so-called UFOs represent. It represents our salvation. It's going to be by way of those UFOs that we're going to be delivered from the second death, which is the lake of fire, which is Babylon the Great being completely and utterly destroyed. All right, and Yahushua is going to be the spearhead of that. But as it says here in the book of Matthew, is Matthew the 25th chapter, so like 24, Matthew 24, verse 30 says, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. What is a sign of this? What is the sign of the Son of Man in heaven? Well, how did Yahushua leave, right? Let me pull that up real quick. And Salaki, I know I'm jumping, but just follow me. Acts chapter 1, verse 9. And when he had spoken these things while they beheld, he was taken up, right? Taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. And that cloud is speaking about a chariot. Okay, so he was taken up by way of the, what they would show as a tractor beam, right? From, a chariot shooting down and then lifting your body up, tracking, pulling you up into the chariot, right? So he was received, and it received him up out of their sight. And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven, so they were looking up toward the heavens, right? The sky. As he went up, behold, two men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahushua, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. You see? So that is why, as it is written back in here in Matthew, that what this then shall appear the sign of man, the Son of Man in heaven. What is going to be that sign of the Son of Man? When he cracked them, metaphorically cracked them skies, and you see a massive fathership, as is spoken of in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, come down. Well, that's the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, right? It says, then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. Because when they see something, like how Ezra said, it looked like a great mountain carved, right? When they see that in the skies, in the heavens, everybody's going to be completely and utterly afraid, right? That's why the scriptures talks about them that love his appearing. Majority of the world are not going to love the appearing of the Lord, because it's going to appear to be an invasion, right? An outer world invasion. Because not only is Yahushua coming with a massive ship, right? A massive chariot, massive vehicle, he's also coming in anger. And he's also coming with fire. Okay? So yeah, the world is going to mourn because of him. It says, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven, right? The clouds of heaven are representing what? The chariots of heaven, because those are their vehicles, right? And those clouds, those chariots, are being operated by the armies of heaven, which are the angels. It says, with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds from one end of heaven to the other. Okay, so that is what the purpose, well, part of the purpose of these chariots will be doing, right? Delivering the elect. So let's go back here, right? So I wanted to show the picture that this person took of the chariot. So as you see, is that right there. Okay, not the best, but clearly something that is not of this world. Clearly something that was huge, right? Clearly something that it shows that it's it's there, it's real. It's not fake. It's not CGI. None of that. All right. And when you read what this person said, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but you know they got up and they holy shit, holy shit. We both jumped off the deck and got into the yard for a better view. Right. So for now, the chariots make these appearances. Right. They make these appearances next to missile bases and things of that nature. But soon enough, it's going to be an aggressive stance. Okay, it's going to be something that these devils are going to have to deal with. All right, and that's why they're doing all of these, hearings and meetings. Right, you got this article came out last week. It says clear and present danger. U.S. police given new UFO handbook. See, so they're making these moves. They're doing these things because they know they're seeing it, right? And the prophets are talking about it, right? But they got their telescopes, and like I said, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is allowing these vehicles to be seen because he's fucking with them, right? But he's allowing these vehicles to be seen to let Esau know that, hey, yeah, I'm about to come, right? You gonna have to deal with this. And they're, I always think of it like if the Lord has an army in heaven, then you got certain ranks, right? Just like you got archangels, right? Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, Raphael. You got certain archangels that are high up, okay? So they would be like commanders, generals, etc. And then you got lieutenants, and then you got officers, and so on and so forth. The Lord could be only sending a low-ranking angel, okay? A low-ranking angel in these chariots, right? Or low-ranking angels in these chariots. And even with their technology or their vehicles, they're perplexing Esau. They're fearing, making Esau afraid, making them scramble and do things like this. So how much more if you get a higher ranking angel? If you get Michael, right, to show his chariot, right? And then when Yahweh Shai, that's why the scripture says all the earth is going well because of him. When he comes in his chariot, clearly, obviously, he's going to have the biggest and best and brightest and most fierce chariot. You see? But these devils are thinking, they're saying that these things that they're seeing are a clear threat. Okay? So, this is another article, but, title says it all, so you don't got to go into it. But nonetheless, I just want to bring this out because, this is the time that we're in. And the Lord is doing marvelous things on the earth. Okay, in the physical, he's manifesting, he's showing these things. And all these things should be a boost for our spirit, for our faith, because, hey, as the scripture says, that we're not forgotten of our power, man. And this is a clear indication of that. The fact that he is visiting Babylon the Great, all right, through the plagues, through the prophecies being fulfilled, end time prophecy, and literally through the chariots, he's visiting this place. Jeremiah chapter 50. Jeremiah chapter 51, go straight to the point. Verse 5, it says, for Israel has not been forsaken, nor Judah of his power, of the Lord of hosts, right? The Lord of armies, right? For the Lord of heaven's armies. It says, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. See? So the Lord has not forsaken us. And soon enough, he's about to actually come and deliver us by way of these chariots. So, I ended there, Lord willing. This was edifying unto the elect, giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Shalom.